Right. I need to get my headphones.
Right, you good?
Yeah, I think so.
Right. I'm so warm. I've just got in from a run. Hello and welcome to a proper Guardians of Wiltshire live stream.
Yeah.
Hopefully this works a lot better than the last time we were on, which
Yeah, it didn't work
was
out last time, but
yes, that was down to my internet. I've had it fixed, and hopefully this should be a hell of a lot better.
hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Let us know if sound is all good and everything. Good evening, Ewan, and Frederick, who's already in the chat, which is excellent.
Good stuff.
So this is a new series that we're going to try and run relatively often, I think. At least as often as we can. Whether it be one tournament every time, or maybe we squeeze two in if there's been two, because we're going to try and live stream every 2 weeks. I think is the key, because I run the quiz, the Middle Earth SPG quiz every 2 weeks, also on a Tuesday. So that is the plan. So yeah, this can definitely be a regular occurrence for us. So obviously post lockdown there, or during lockdown, there has been no tournaments, which has been disappointing. I know a few people, ourselves included, have been getting in some local games, and I know venues have started to open up over the last month and a half. End of July, I think they started.
Yeah, end of July-ish, they started to open up so people could start playing again. So yeah, it's been about 5-6 weeks now.
Yeah, and last weekend we had the return of the GBHL. How exciting!
Very exciting.
How exciting!
Very exciting. Yeah.
I know the guys up in Nottingham, Will Champion and Barney Menzies, were keen to get an event on, most definitely, and they ran the Rings of Men. This is the second edition, second time they've run this event. They ran it a similar date last year, I think. I haven't been able to attend one yet. However, I know Barney and Will very well, and their tournaments always sound amazing and have always got excellent reviews from everyone.
Yeah, you always hear good things. Always hear good things about the venue as well.
Yes. We'll move on to that now, I suppose. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through the rules pack, because there's some cool little quirky things in here that they've done, and then we'll eventually run through the top 5 lists from the weekend. So if we make our way through the rules pack, which I think hopefully most people can see, it's run at 7th City Collectibles, which is up in Nottingham, run by Barney Menzies and Will. Champion recently joined his team back in April, I think Will said, when I spoke to him on our community interview.
Yeah, I think that's what we said in the 11 interview, yeah.
I've not had a chance to go up yet. It's definitely somewhere where I'd like to go.
It's on the list.
Definitely. It's definitely on the list. So going through, so Ewan, we'll just jump into the chat very quickly. Ewan, in Wiltshire itself, not that I know of. However, we are running an event the start of October, basically a month from now, the 10th and 11th of October, over in Bristol, at Bristol Independent Gaming. There is currently a ticket available. It's a weekend. It is nice cheeky plug. It is a weekend event. It's £30 for both days. Unfortunately, there won't be any meal out or shenanigans in the evening due to all the restrictions, but we're still going to run a weekend event. So going back to the Rings of Men, it's held at 7th City Collectibles, which Barney has run for the last year or so, year and a half maybe, I think.
Must be getting close to 2 years now.
That's close to 2 years, yeah. So it started off. Barney started off running a what is it? He was running an online collectibles
online Yeah, like Pokemon cards, Magic Gathering, that sort of thing. I think it was.
Yeah, and now he's branched out to a shop, which is amazing. So that'll be really, really good. And so it's just a bit of information on where the venue is and how to attend, and how to get there even. So that will be something that will be really cool. Sean's just messaged me asking if the chat's supposed to be overlaid. I think so. However, it doesn't seem to be showing up, so it doesn't matter. Everyone can see the chat on the side.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
No, it's not a big deal. Something to fix in later streams. So it was just a bit about how the tickets should be can be purchased, and how much they are. So £35, including lunch for both days. It's about the norm, to be honest.
Yeah, standard with lunch as well. Yeah, that's pretty
with
good,
lunch,
actually.
That's pretty good. Yeah, can't complain.
Nope.
It had a capacity of 24 players, which is decent during these times. I don't think there is much more. You could probably get into most venues.
No,
I know.
I don't know what their capacity would be normally.
I'm not sure actually.
I'm guessing at least double that. So
quite possibly maybe 32. I don't know.
Yeah, 24 in these times is probably what you're going to see, even in the bigger venues, to be honest. So.
Yeah, I was going to say Bristol Independent Gaming, where we're running our event, is pretty big, and we've only got 26 players maximum.
Yeah.
Obviously, plus us two and the staff. So then there is a bit about the food and drinks, and then we'll move on to kind of what you need for the weekend. And this is where it's slightly different to most tournaments. So obviously you need your army list, and your hobby materials, tape, dice. Because I was trying to say them both at the same time, that's not worked. Tape, dice, pen, and paper for Might Will Fate, or if you've got little trays that you can put dice in. That's what we use sometimes. Glue. There's always going to be a fatality, and a tray to move your army around. So next is 9 objective markers and 1 hostage.
Yeah, that's
very interesting. So obviously in normal scenarios you need 6 objectives maximum. But in this one you need 9 and a hostage. So it says a ring of power will be awarded to the best objective markers. And hostage model themed around the 9 rings given to the Kings of Men. So
yeah, it's all tying in with the Kings of Men theme, which is nice.
Yeah, it's nice to see tournaments doing that. I know we like to theme tournaments.
Yeah,
which is cool. So we have trophies relating to tournaments, and I know quite a lot of places do similar things with their prizes if they've named after something else. So one of the scenarios requires your opponent to have a model that represents a hostage from your army. It can be a 25mm objective, however they'd love to see their own conversions as hostages as part of their 9 objective markers. What would you do as a hostage?
So off the top of my head, I'd probably go. Well, so depending on the army I took, obviously, the one that springs to mind would be the Raiders of Ithilien, having Frodo and Sam as a hostage on a base.
Yeah.
Springing
to mind quickly now, Sam and Frodo in Orc armor for a Mordor army.
Yeah,
that would be a
cool.
dead easy one.
I think quite an easy one to do would be the model that comes with the Sauron pack, Isildur and Elendil.
Yep. I'm trying to think of any others.
Don't know what else you could do, really.
They're just models. You could convert.
absolutely, yeah.
You can convert loads of different things.
This is just my lazy mind. Frodo and the Nine Fingers, possibly.
Yeah. You could definitely have a Smeagol or a Gollum and put a bit of string around the like the neck. Loads of really cool things.
Yeah, that's off the top of my head anyway.
I can't think of anything else.
No.
No. But yeah, loads of different things. Oh, there's some of the casualty set. Some of the Lord of the Rings casualty set. Because there's like the dwarf that's laying down. Obviously, some of them are depicting dead models, but they are they are supposed to be. They could be used for that. And then the next thing that they've said you can bring is fancy dress. Starting to see this a little bit more around the scene.
It started off with
Seven Stones,
years ago, was it? No, Longbottom Carnival.
Oh yeah.
Years ago, I'm sure people went fancy dress there, and then Seven Stones took that on board, and then more and more events have started to do it, which is good to see.
More and more people have started doing it to just random events.
Oh yeah,
because Seven Stones especially, because one of the first ones I can remember seeing photos of was the James Clark in Ale the Young outfit, where he basically just wore like a nappy. Like a diaper.
His PT background, yeah.
Yeah, and a helmet, and that was it. I know Damien for the last 2 years.
Throne of Skulls.
2 years for Throne of Skulls has worn King of the Dead, and then Bilbo.
It was Bilbo this year.
He was Bilbo, of course he was.
Yeah,
last year. So they're offering a Ring of Power for the best outfit. And yeah, it's obviously, if you're gonna fancy dress, you might as well team it up with your army, mightn't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So then, moving on to the schedule. So this is day one. They have outlined the scenarios before the start, which is very interesting. I know some tournaments do this.
Yeah.
Some tournaments do this, some tournaments don't. There's pros and cons to both, I would say.
Yeah.
In not showing the scenarios, people will have to build a more rounded army list. And showing the scenarios, people can obviously tailor. Similar to Good v Evil.
Depending on what the scenarios chosen are, you can tailor it, but it might just be that you need to take a well-rounded army.
Oh yeah, of course. I've not really looked through these as of yet, so it'll be interesting to go through these now. So we've got Recon as per usual. Game 2 is Rescue the Ring Bearer, which is a Fog of War variant, and these have varying VPs. We'll go through all these scenarios in a second. Game 3 is Domination. Game 4 is the Elven Rings, which is a Seize the Prize variant. Game 5 is the Seven Dwarf Rings, which is an Heirlooms of Ages Past variant. Game 6 is Lords of Battle, which is just as it is. And then we have the 9 Rings of Men, which is Capture and Control variant. So very interesting. So seven games there. Quite a few objective-based scenarios. Just looking through them now. Domination, Seize the Prize, Heirlooms, and Capture and Control. So you're thinking probably a few more numbers in the list, quite possibly.
I think so, yeah.
I don't think we've come across the points limit as of yet. If I have, I've missed it. No, not yet. So we'll go through the custom scenarios. So Rescue the Ring Bearer. It's a Fog of War variant, which includes the hostage, which is attached to each player's leader. So the hostage must always remain within 3 inches of the leader. If the leader moves and the hostage is unable to move within 3 inches, they must move as close as possible. To free the hostage, at the end of the turn, you must have a model in base contact with the hostage, and then no enemy models in base contact with you. Roll a d6 for each friendly model in contact with the hostage. On a 4+, they're freed, and you take control of the hostage for the rest of the game.
Okay.
Man-sized infantry, 25mm base, and have the same race keyword as your leader. For example, if Aragon was your leader, the hostage under your opponent's control would have the keyword man and have movement 6. They have no control zones, may not be passed over, charge or be charged. They may not be targeted by spells, range, weapon, area effect, or similar splash damage effects like catapults. So they're just ignored.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. So victory conditions. 1 VP if you have more models within 1 inch of your opponent's hostage than your opponent at the end of the game. 3 VPs if you free your opponent's hostage and there are no enemy models within 1 inch of them. Okay, so they're additional VPs. So you've got your your Fog of War variant with an additional with your additional VPs there. So yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Interesting, yeah.
Something else to focus on. So you're going for your protect your own guy, get a terrain piece, take the hostage, and kill one of their heroes.
Also,
so loads going on, which is excellent.
Yeah, makes things. Yeah, Fog of War, normally you can sort of mind game your opponent. You can choose your own model that you know you're going to keep alive quite easily. But having this now, the hostage situation, it adds a different dynamic to it, which is really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I know. I personally absolutely love Fog of War.
It can be a really good scenario. Can be, yeah, definitely.
I absolutely love a good Fog of War.
If you know what you're doing,
yeah.
then yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing, it becomes slightly more tricky. Right. And then the next custom scenario is the Elven Rings. So this is a Seize the Prize variant where three prizes are deployed across the centre line with 12 inches between them. At the end of the game, for each ring you hold in your own board half, you score 1. For each ring you hold in your opponent's board half, you score 3. For each ring you carry off your opponent's board edge, you score 5. It's 1 and 2 for wounding and killing the enemy leader, and 1 and 2 for breaking and unbroken.
Ooh.
So I know this is one scenario type that has been played across quite a few tournaments before.
Yeah.
I've heard of it being played quite a few times.
It always seems to come up. Let's say, 3/4 of the tournaments that I can remember going to, this has been in there. Yeah. 3 prizes now. That makes things really interesting.
Especially when it was only the 6 scenarios before it turned to 12. Obviously, then before it turned to 18. This was definitely an inclusion sometimes. I've just noticed models holding an elven ring that suffer a wound may roll a d6. On a 6+, the wound is prevented. If the model wishes to pass the ring to an allied model, they must pass a courage test to resist its power. If they fail, they suffer the effects of a transfix spell. That's really cool.
Nice.
That gives something completely different. And yeah, as if they're trying to take it from you.
Yeah. That's really cool.
I like that. I definitely like that.
This kind of makes me want to write my own scenario. Yeah.
What a terrifying thought.
God.
So now we'll move on to the 7 Dwarf Rings. This is an heirloom of ages past variant, which uses 7 objectives. The first objective is placed in the centre, and then players roll off and take turns placing 3 alternatively. The dwarf rings are mighty items, so they're dense constructions that many mortals will struggle to carry. A model who picks up this artifact in the scenario treats it as a heavy object, so they can only move half. Ooh, that's good.
Okay.
That means you can't run away with it.
Mm.
That means you can't run away as much as you want.
I like that. That makes things much more interesting.
Yeah, the rest of the scenario is scored as normal. There's just 7 objectives, and it's treated as a heavy object.
No, that's cool. I really like that.
Yeah, that's cool. It's just something very slightly different.
Yeah, so now there's definitely one in the middle now.
Yeah.
Plus, then always scattered around.
Yeah.
So even if you do get unlucky with your deployment and you're away from quite a few of them, there's always that one in the centre you can go for. There's always that guarantee there.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sean saying do some custom scenarios in Bristol. Not this time.
No, event pack's done.
Yeah, we'll have to write a few as a little group and see what we like and see if there's anything different we can do.
You said it now. He's going to have to be a play tester. He knows that, right?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make it awful for him. And then the last custom scenario, which Joseph Petit has already said he really enjoys, is the 9 Rings of Men. The scenario is a capture and control variant. The first objective is placed in the centre, as always, and then after this, you place objectives on the board at least 3 inches from a board edge and at least 9 inches from each other. At the end of the game, obviously it's like capture and control. You score 1 for every objective, 1 and 2 for winning and killing the enemy leader, and 1 and 2 for breaking and unbroken.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
They're going to be closer together, but that makes sense because there's more of them.
Yeah. I do love me a bit of capture and control as well. I actually played it last night with Sean, which is pretty cool.
Oh, nice. I do like capture control over the other sort of objective holding, like domination.
It's a little bit more reliable.
It's more reliable, and then you're not just always hanging back on these objectives. You can then go and get back into combat, which is one of the most important, well, not most important, but most fun parts of the game.
Yeah.
And you're not then going to lose it easily. Obviously, you can still lose it, but you can still defend it reliably. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. It's just one of those where your opponent can't sit back and try and do you, because you can just I've tagged these objectives, let's go.
Yeah, and I think depending on no matter what army you bring, it doesn't matter if you've got a horde army versus all hero. The all heroes can still win.
Oh yeah,
which they wouldn't be able to in domination, for example.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, they all seem really cool.
I like all of those. We'll try not to steal ideas, but we'll definitely we'll definitely think of some
just change the names,
cheeky ones. So we're moving on to the army compositions.
Mm-hmm.
So when considering what force you wish to take in your quest for a ring of power, do not be led astray by powerful models and tales of competitive lists. There are more ways than sheer military prowess to acquire a ring of power. Actively hamstringing yourself for the sake of theme is heavily encouraged. Some examples can be found below for the kind of things we'd love to see. That's a really good start to an army composition section.
Yeah. Strong start.
Really strong start. I think this was originally an 80-pointer before, obviously, all the COVID stuff happened, so theme is highly encouraged.
Yeah.
So some of the examples themed accurate war gear. So if you're planning to do heroes from Helm's Deep, then having your heroes without horses would contribute, obviously.
Yep.
Character timelines, continuing the Defense of Helm's Deep example. Theoden gambling with great inclusions, but Hammer less so. I do wonder if this rules pack was written before War in Rohan came out.
It sounds like it.
Whether they've used it the same rules pack from the previous year, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
But those two examples seem.
But it's just examples, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And because this is the one, rarely you see in profiles. You see plenty of Galadriel with a spear and shield at tournaments, but how many warriors of Rohan on foot do you see? With the new legendary legions, quite a few.
Yeah.
Oh, what have I clicked? Oh, jeez, zoom out. There is some chaotic zooming right there. So at the end of day 1, TOs will reveal their nomination for best theme, considering everything from list composition, hobbying prowess, stylish fancy dress, etc. These players will be awarded one of 9 rings to play during their games on day 2. These rings will convey special effects in game, which will be revealed in the run-up to the tournament. I haven't seen those.
No.
One thing we probably should.
Yeah. Isn't it? Yeah.
One of the things we probably should mention. This is a little bit of a mad dash to get this ready. It was something we thought of very probably yesterday.
Yeah. Well, the tournament only happened on
the weekend. Yeah, it
might. Talk about it. Seeing as it's
the first one back.
The first one back. See what it was all about and just talk about it really. But yeah. So yeah, if you want to see what those effects are.
Yeah, I'm sure Barney or Will be more than willing to tell you.
But if I remember, we went to a tournament in Cheltenham years ago where you had that similar sort of thing where it was in the seize the prize or heirlooms or something. You'd pick up the prize and then you get like a special effect. So it was you'd get fearless or you'd get +1 to your fate save, just along those sort of lines. So not game changing.
Yeah.
Just little bonuses.
Little trinkets.
For the objectives, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then the actual hard army composition restrictions are: attendees should construct armies of no more than 650 points.
650.
Unless given special dispensation from the TO for theme purposes, all armies must contain models from a single army list, so essentially no allies.
Yeah.
No models are banned. All models must be WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get, to enhance the immersive experience. Not got a Gilgalad with shield, who cares? Shields are for cowards, not mighty elven kings. I like that.
Mine has a shield on it.
Yeah. But
the first version anyway.
But that's the whole. Here is Gilgalad with the shield. Oh, he doesn't have a shield. Yeah, but I pay for points with him in my army list. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Experimental profiles and homebrews to represent theme are highly encouraged. If you have an idea for a profile, please get in touch with the TO. I would be really interested to see if anyone did this.
I hope so.
I really hope so. I have no idea. Possibly.
I wouldn't even know where to start with that.
You take the old adage is you take a warrior of Rohan and if you increase their points, you go up by whatnot and all that kind of jazz. And then just the theme and profile request should be sent to Senate City. Conversions are encouraged. Proxies are allowed within reason. Obviously, always contact the TO if you want to do a proxy or you're unsure about your conversion. Always contact the TO. There's no point asking on the GBHL because every TO will be different.
Any question you have with an event, it's always best to just go, right, just going to send a TO a message. It's then nice and clear.
Yeah, most definitely.
No matter what the issue, it could be as simple as, I don't know, can I take this, blah, blah, blah. Or it could be something really finicky. It doesn't matter. TOs will always appreciate knowing beforehand rather than on the day where you'll probably get penalised for it. So
Yeah, or at least they'll cause a lot of confusion. That's the one thing. Everyone wants to have a nice, easy day or weekend gaming. So making it easier for everyone is always in your best interests.
absolutely.
And that's when people who go to a fair few tournaments. Having a nice, easy day at tournaments, even if playing competitively and quite hard, having an easy day thinking-wise on what a model is and what a model isn't.
Yeah.
It is far more...
Things you shouldn't have to think about, really.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. So, 650 points. I'm waving a stick at you. 650 points. What would you take?
Ooh,
Bearing in mind, we know the scenarios. This is off the cuff.
So, before lockdown happened, there was the little mini Bristol League that was going on.
Yes.
That was 650.
Of course it
was.
was.
I had been playing with, there was a Moria list with the Watch on the Water. And I
Is
really
that the
enjoyed
one
playing.
I played against with Glathrim?
No, that was 600. That was Cave Drake instead. It was literally the same army.
Oh, it was Corsairs. Corsairs.
The Corsair one, I did enjoy that game.
That was our first game post-lockdown.
That was our first game post-lockdown. I was a little bit rusty, but I still couldn't win even if I knew what I was doing. But yeah, 650, that would probably be my go-to at the minute. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know really.
Ali's just said Phaedra's Legion with 40 throwing spears. That's disgusting. And I know you're planning that list. We sent a photo to our Discord the other week of 18 Royal Guard on foot with spears. Yes, I am outing you out, Ali.
Oh, that's gruesome. Yeah. But yeah, that would probably be the first thought, or possibly Gotham's Legion with a catapult.
Yes, I've taken that at 650, and that's quite handy.
You still got a big hero, you still get decent numbers, you've got a catapult there, got some reliable troops.
Would you think your elves would be possible?
Possibly. It's difficult now because my 650 build pre-lockdown and pre-FAQ was Gilgalad and Círdan and about 30 elves.
Yeah.
I can't make that work now because Círdan can only take 6.
Oh yeah, because you had max warbands in them, didn't you?
I had max warbands. There'll probably be along like a Rivendell Knight theme, possibly.
Okay. So Elrond, Arwen and Lindir at 650?
Possibly all of them.
Because no allies.
I don't know how many numbers you get. You probably get about 15, 16 models. Can't remember off the top of my head. Possibly that. Yeah. I wouldn't take dwarves. I wouldn't take my Mummock. Army of the Dead, possibly.
Yeah.
Or Return of the King Legion, maybe. Yeah. They're all well, especially Army of the Dead and Gospel Legion, they'd probably be the more popular ones that you might see.
Yeah.
Compared to the ones I mentioned before, but Moria most likely with the Watcher.
Yeah.
What about you?
I was, for that Bristol League we're on about, I was planning to take fiefdoms. So I think, good evening, Matt. He's just come in.
Evening, Matt.
Fiefdoms, I was taking Imrahil Forlong Dwyn here. Looking at the cupboard, Muhud maybe, with lots of blowpipes. That could work at 650. I've run it at 700 and I did relatively well with it.
650 could be decent.
Assault upon Helm's Deep Legion could be quite good. But the scenarios do require you to go out and get objectives, which would be the downfall.
You wouldn't be necessarily doing that.
You wouldn't want to be doing it too much.
No. It's not the idea of the army. Really.
Angmar's always good.
Yeah.
Angmar's always good.
Yeah, you get to big heroes and a lot of troops.
Yeah, my 600 point go-to Angmar list is 38 models, so yeah, I'd be pushing that 40 plus. Then I'm in a Rohan mood at the moment. If anyone's been seeing the Guardian's Facebook post, I'm in a real Rohan mood. So Riders of Theoden. Riders of Aemir could be quite good at 650. You'd get probably about 20 models with Gandalf and Aemir in. And I haven't got the new plastic Aemir, but it's definitely an excuse to get it if I was going to do it. Eagles.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But again, scenarios probably depict they're not that great for it.
Not massively, but
yeah. I just
there's a lot of choice you could go with it. 650, isn't there?
I've named most of my armies.
Yeah.
No, my go-to would probably be Angmar or Fiefdoms, I think, at the moment. I've not run Rohan at anything higher than 450, so I don't quite know how they play.
Yeah.
As people have alluded to in the chat, Theodred's Legion, Theodred's Guard might be pretty decent.
Okay. Right.
So moving on to the prizes for the weekend.
Prizes. The reason everyone goes.
Nice to see Jasmine in the chat because she actually attended the weekend, so she might be able to give us any pointers if we're missing any.
Good.
Jasmine, I don't know if you heard, but did anyone take any custom profiles? That's one thing we kind of want to know. So prizes, the most important bit, obviously. So the 3 Rings of Numenor, brackets, the real winners. This is best theme for a TO vote, most sporting, which is the player vote, and the wooden spoon. Wooden spoon, obviously traditionally the man or lady at the bottom of the tower. But they always seem to have a smile on their face, which is the best bit.
Always, which is good to see.
Yeah, Jasmine doesn't think anyone took any custom profiles.
That's a shame.
And then the 3 Rings of Dol Guldur, which are the podium places, so first, second, third. We'll gloss over that. There was a lot of thought put into some of the themes. Oh, that's really good to hear. That's really good to hear. So, the 3 Rings of the Haradrim are the Hobby Wizards. So that's best painted, best objective markers, both of them are player votes, and the best fancy dress, which is the TO vote. Did anyone win that? Did anyone turn up? If anyone got a mask incorporated into their fancy dress, props.
Yeah. Props. You could be like a Haradrim warrior.
Yeah, with like a scarf.
Yeah. A goblin prowler.
I know my missus has got some scarves that are big enough to be blankets, so you could easily wrap that around your face. Yeah. So this is going to be an 80-point tournament. As said, it says for the 2019 GBHL season. That was definitely a typo. And then we move to the pairings and how the draw is done. So first round is entirely random. After that, it's Swiss pairs based on tournament points. For tiebreakers, it is victory points conceded victory points, followed by victory point difference, and finally most sporting votes. Interesting.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
I know some places do that, so it's kind of better to get a tiny win than a big win.
A 7-0 better than a 12-5.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Interesting. And finally, most sporting votes. So tournament points. Nice. There was a full-on armored ringwraith costume like that.
Good.
That's
Good.
excellent. So 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, 0 for a loss, -1 for a concession, which hopefully is never needed.
Yeah.
And 2 tournament points for most sporting. Oh, so most sporting overall. Right, excellent.
I was going to say, if I was a vote, then
Yeah. So I think most sporting overall gets 2 tournament points. So it's kind of like half a win.
Yeah.
All games played on 4x4 tables. So yeah, the total of 23 tournament points available. Tournament points for most sporting will not be added until the end of round 7. Makes sense. On 4x4 tables, like all SBG tournaments are played on, bar Throne of Skulls and Ripon, maybe, when you get to like the 1,000 points.
Well, yeah, 1,000 points plus, I think it is 6.4.
Yeah. So some sportsmanship rules queries and legal publications. Whilst this is a tournament, everyone expects to have a great time. Players always expect to be in a civil and respectful manner to one another and generally treat each other as they would like to be treated, like from when you were 4.
Yeah, it's a good lesson.
Yeah.
They teach it for a reason.
Yeah. Players are given a single warning for their behaviour if it's considered unacceptable. Behaviour persists and player will be disqualified. There is 0 tolerance for cheating. Players found cheating will be immediately disqualified. Players will be asked to vote for their most honourable opponents, and the player that receives the most votes will win a Ring of Power. Essentially, a lot of that stuff is put in most tournament packs. It shouldn't have to be, but it is.
Shouldn't have to be, but it is. It's just something that, on the odd occasion, you might have someone dead set on winning and try and do whatever they can, but it's rare. It's very, very
really rare. I've heard of like 2 occasions, maybe.
Yeah, I can only think of 1 or 2 on top of my head. So,
essentially, players are encouraged to work out simple rules queries for themselves. TOs are the sole authority at the event and will be entirely impartial in their adjudication of any rules disputes. Remember, if a TO is required to intervene, TO's ruling is final. That's the case with pretty much all tournaments.
Yeah. It's just a little bump at the end of the event pack that has to be there. It's like your terms and conditions, really, isn't it? You don't read it, but
you know it's there. And then, so this is one that's put in quite a few rules packs, especially because we are now getting more releases. Any and all official publications and rules that have been made available for sale to the general public on or before the 29th of August, so that's a week before the event, will be valid for use in this tournament.
Yep. It's pretty standard now.
Makes sense. And then it's just got your list for the weekend. Your force, your army list, tape measure, dice. There we are. Pen, paper for Might Will Fate, objective markers, glue, dray, and your wits and humour. Excellent. And then the last bit is just a bit of a COVID briefing.
So
which is
I haven't read it, but I imagine it's masks on.
When
you're in the building, sanitize. Basically, what everyone should be doing. In public.
While in store, masks must be worn. Lunch will be provided. Lunch will still be provided, which is good for them. Social distancing and respect other people's space while playing games and in breaks. Hand sanitizer will be available at the door, in toilets, and at your tables for your convenience. The player cap was 16, but I know it went up to 24. Everything is subject to government guidance.
Cool.
Which is excellent. So that is the rules pack done and dusted with what we think we will take. Or we would have taken, sorry.
It's good to see that the first event back was a nice, fluffy one for people to just enjoy.
Yes.
Based on theme. So,
Yeah, I'm not sure what the next one is.
so I know there's one at the end of September.
There's one in Cardiff end of September. There might be one in between that.
I think there is one, but I can't remember what it is.
And then there's ours 2 weeks after Cardiff.
Yeah, God, that's coming quick.
Yeah, it's coming quick. I got the trophies here that need painting, and we need to pick up some more prizes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
More prizes, guys. More
prizes. We're not restricting the number of prizes. It's still going to be the same as we originally intended. So that covers the rules pack, and the lovely world champion has been very gracious and patient with me today, with him with me chasing.
You pestering him every half hour or something?
No, every like 3 hours. So we will move on to the lists. So I have the top 5 lists from the 24 players.
Sweet.
And you've not seen these, which would be really, really interesting.
I've not seen it. I've had a brief glance over the event pack, but I've not seen the lists at all. So
here we go.
I don't know. I know who came second, but that's about it. I don't know anything else.
So we are straight in to 5th place. So this is run by Thomas Wagg, and it is the Phaedrus Guard Legendary Legion. Really, really nice to see. I haven't done total number of models, but I'll do a quick count of that in a minute. So running through this, he has Theodred, Horse and a Shield, 4 Rohan Royal Guard, Horse and Throwing Spear, 6 Rides of Rohan, and 1 Rider Rohan with a banner. Nice mobile warband. Grimbold, 2 Royal Guard, 2 Royal Guard with Throwing Spear, 3 Helmingas, 3 Helmingas with Shield and Throwing Spear, and then Elfhelm with a Horse, 2 Royal Guard, 2 Royal Guard with Throwing Spears, 2 Helmingas, and 5 Helmingas with Throwing Spear. I like it.
Not something I've seen.
Nope.
I've seen some people take it, but I've never seen what the game was. I've never played it, especially.
Ali's loving the list already. So going while you have a little think. Obviously, doing the Send Forth or Legion series, I have covered all the legendary legions. Patiently waiting for the Quest of the Ringbearer, because that will be cool. I'm really looking forward to the Rangers coming out on Saturday and seeing what their rules are.
Cool, yeah.
So I think at 600 points, if I remember correctly, I took a captain as well. I can't remember how many models.
Wow.
Yeah.
As well as those 2 heroes.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't have as many riders. Nowhere near as many riders.
I was going to say, that's quite a decent amount of numbers, to be fair.
We got 12, another full warband, and 1 off. So about 35 models, I think.
Pretty good.
With a heavy cavalry. Heavy cavalry.
Oh, yeah, it's not an all cav Rohan list, but you
can't have all cavalry Phaedrus Guard.
No, but yeah, you sort of normal riders of Theoden and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yes, having that many models.
I think it's solid.
Yeah.
So you've got obviously your quick moving cavalry force.
Got your kill team.
Most definitely. Justice for Grimbold. It's not often I've seen enough of those memes to last me a lifetime. Matt, no, Grimbold is not mounted. You're worse than your brother. So maximizing Helmingas, definitely. That's really good. Like I say, the riders are needed. you can. Theodred has to always charge, but you can, by order of movement, restrict him.
Yeah, so you can sort of game it. So you can charge him in a few turns, and then maybe somehow there's no heroic moves, you've got priority, charge everyone else in, and then he's
Yeah, you can kind of
can't charge it.
box him in.
Yeah.
No, I like this list. It's nice to see someone. Obviously, Raw and Rohan came out pre-lockdown, and then we went into lockdown relatively quickly.
Yeah. So it didn't get a chance to all the new legions to be tested and played at tournaments. So it's good to see that people still want to do it.
Yeah,
Coming fifth as well.
Yeah,
good,
nice.
Really good.
I like this list. It's one that me and Ali have spoken about a lot. A lot.
I really hate / like Elfhelm as well.
Is that from playing short?
Yeah. He's going to kill something before combat every single turn.
Yeah.
Reroll into wound. He's going to kill something. So there's one less model that you can use.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Really cool.
It's solid. You've got some defense 6, which is I think is always pretty handy.
Yeah, you got a bit of range threat as well.
Yeah.
I guess, well, not up close, but you've then got a turn where you can unleash. What's that? At least 12.
What's that? 7. 7, 7, 14, 18.
God, yeah.
19, including Elfhelm.
Yeah, 20 throwing spears for a turn.
Yeah, nice. and then you've got your 7 bows on your Rise of Rohan, which is always handy. And if you've got quite a lot of God, yeah, I think that's really cool. And to get 5th place in 24 players with that's decent. Most.
We've had 6 months to refine it and practice. Well, maybe not practice much, theorize what it is.
Yeah. So next we'll move on to 4th place, which is George Stormberg. Ali's got all the win percentages for the event. We'll come across that another time. Might be worth getting Ali on to explain what he wants to do with all of those, being the league person. So 4th place, George Stormberg. Another legendary legion. Yes.
Defenders of the Shire.
Defenders of the Shire. So this has a lot of models.
Oh my god.
So Mary, Pony, Shield, 12 Hobbit Archers, Pippin, Hobbit, Pony, Shield. He's not riding a Hobbit. That's weird. 12 Hobbit Sheriffs. Frodo with 11 Hobbit Militia. Falco Boffin with 2 Hobbit Archers. Fatty Bulger, Farmer Mogget and his 3 dogs. Hobbit Archer, 9 Hobbit Archers, Holfoot Brace Girdle, 12 Hobbit Sheriffs, Baldo Tolpenny, 9 Hobbit Militia, 3 Hobbit Sheriffs, Lobelia Baggins. And Booth.
Yeah. That's a lot.
So, I would be interested to see which of the warbands would have been his ambushing warband. Obviously, it can change from game to game.
True.
Excuse me. He's got Baldo Tolpenny, so he's laying 16 traps.
Oh.
Which I think are more...
Especially when there's loads of objectives as well.
Yeah. No one went unbeaten. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. Yeah.
7 games. Yeah.
I like that list.
Also, 83 models. Thanks, Jasmine. Don't have to count. 83 models.
That's ridiculous. I presume Jasmine had to play that if she knows how many.
I'd imagine if she knew off the top of her head. Or she did the count.
Either way. I think that's really cool. So you've got a big banner in Frodo. Falco Boffin to boost Frodo. So he can do some heroic moves. Horseback Brace Girdle to help out the 27 sheriffs. Sorry, that's a lot.
Is it max archers as well? So
Not quite, I don't think.
not quite.
Oh, Jasmine played it at recon. Excellent. That's grim. That's so grim. I think you've maxed.
83 stones to throw. Ugh.
So thinking about how the army would play and deploy, especially, you think from the lists I've got, most people have got 3 or 4 warbands.
Yeah.
Oh, Jasmine won. Excellent.
Spoiler.
Yeah, well, they only move 4 inches, don't they? But yeah, thinking how you deploy, you'd probably drop Fatty, Lobelia, and Folco first.
Yeah, why not?
Because then you're like, right, now I'm deploying the whole of my army where I know where you are, or you aren't.
60 models left to go, yeah.
So yeah, I like it. It's a lot of models.
It's a lot of models.
It's a lot of models.
But it's hobbits.
But it's hobbits, yeah. So they should, in theory, go down relatively quickly.
Yeah.
But no, all in all, I think a good list. I don't think I'd ever collect it up to 650. Maybe 500.
I might get 4 hobbits and that's about it. 5.
Which 5?
The main 4 and Bilbo.
Oh yeah, of course.
6 if you get 2 different Bilbos. That's my limit. 6 hobbits.
6 hobbits.
That's it.
So we'll move on to
Third place.
Jasmine. So Jasmine using pure mortal. So I wonder if this is a list that me and Jasmine have spoken about before, or at least close to.
Okay, yeah.
So the leader is Goroth. He's got an orc drummer. 4 Moranons with shield, 1 orc with banner, shield, spear, 4 orcs with spear, 1 Wog rider with shield and throwing spear. Kardush, Mordor's MVP. 4 Moranon orcs, shield, 4 orc warriors with spear and 3 trackers. Gorbag with a shield, 4 Moranon orcs with shield, 1 Moranon orc with shield and spear, 2 Moranon orcs with spear, another orc warrior with a banner and a shield, 1 Royal Rider, 1 shield with a shield and throwing spear, and 1 orc with a spear. Is that one me and Jazz have spoken about. And then Ring Wraith with 2 extra might. Interesting as to why no fate. It's 3 Moranon orcs with shield, 2 with shield and spear, 1 with spear, and 2 Wild Riders with shield and throwing spear. It's 44 models.
Nice. That's good.
That's solid at 650.
That's a very, very good list.
Yeah.
That's very good.
I know it's one Jasmine's well versed with as well. I know she likes her kind of Mordor spam as such. You've got two beat stick heroes and 2 support heroes. You've got the drummer to move quick, which is pretty handy.
Because no one there has marched, did it?
The Ring Wraith does.
Oh, the Ring Wraith does? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, vanilla Ring Wraiths have march.
Okay. So I didn't realise.
So that means your guys can really shift if needed.
Yeah.
And then and that's Justin put burn baby burn. You've got the old fireball man or fireball orc. Kaddish is really useful, especially teamed with that Ring Wraith. The trackers are there for just some nice subtle throwaway dudes.
Yeah. 3 of them. Probably all you. Yeah, it's probably all you need to sort of throw away. Really.
Yeah, 3 of them probably. She said she burnt Elfhelm and Dwalin to death, and 20-inch move Wild Riders with march and
Oh.
drum.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's pretty grim. So yeah, a good few wild riders to go claim objectives and to knock heroes down if needed. You've got Gorbag, who's a solid fighter, and you've got Gorth, who's a real damage output if needed.
Yeah.
You've got a defense 6 line in the front with a fair bit of strength 4, and I presume some Orc warriors to just fill in a few extra numbers. 2 banners is interesting. Don't see that very often.
No, but in an army that size,
and with a fighting line that big,
yeah,
I think it's pretty reasonable.
It means you don't have to keep the heroes closely knit together.
Yeah. Dave Sweeting's not surprised George came 4th with Farmer Maggot.
Oh,
the clash of heroes.
Because he's got 3 dogs.
Yeah. So a little side note that Dave Sweeting's on about is on the Discord channel when we've been having our little just late night hangouts where we're obviously far too tired. We pitted up a Castellan versus Farmer Maggot. Because he's strength 5, defense 6, fight 5. The first one came close, but Farmer Maggot and his dogs won. I did kill all 3 dogs. In the second one, the Castellan won, and in the third one, the Castellan didn't survive round 1 of combat.
Lots of
well, Farmer Maggot piercing, striking, 2-handing only needs 4s, and
4s.
If you're trapped, yeah, I failed. I think they caused 5 wounds. The dogs caused 2 on 6 dice because obviously trapped, and then Farmer Maggot caused another 3. Yeah, I failed like 7 fate or something stupid.
Good God.
But no, I really like Jasmine's list. Ring Wraith with no fate is something that intrigues me, even if it's just 1.
Yeah, a little bit of assurance maybe. But...
Yeah, for me personally, I would. Oh, there's a bloody fly that's just flown into my room. Dropping 1 orc for a point of fate,
possibly,
or a Moranon and some gear to get another tracker and
possibly,
and a point of fate, because then you're still at the same numbers. That's my only query. But that's me personally. If I run wraiths, I like to have a bit of fate because I know how fragile
they are. Yeah, that's the only thing that not wrong with the list. It's a concern. You burn your might and rule early.
Fair. That makes sense.
What would that be? 80 points. Ring wraith for 2 might. Oh God, yeah, that's it. Yeah, so 65 points. Yeah, no, that's fair enough then. Burn your might early, get some spells off. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Like it.
Nice.
So what did you say you wouldn't take? A Mummock, yeah? Mr. Entwistle, Grand Legion of the South, Grand Army of the South.
Okay. Wait. I said a Mummock. I didn't say a war leader.
So, coming in second place, which I think is really cool. Mummock War Leader, 8 Haradrim Warriors with bow, 4 Haradrim Warriors, Haradrim King with Horse and War Spear, 4 Serpent Riders, a Haradrim Raider with War Spear and War Horn.
Cool.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Really like it. The King is probably there just because he had the points. Not too sure.
Yeah. There's not much else you could do, to be honest. If that's how you wanted to build it,
yeah,
not much else you could do.
yeah. I think like talking to Harry, and him giving the idea to Chris Murphy, you want less guys on the ground than you do on the Mummock. Oh,
Yeah.
Matt's saying he took my sporting too because Matt and Ali have got the results. I think. Yeah, I think the king can march.
Yeah.
This fly is really annoying.
Yeah, 2 tournament points could have pushed him up.
Oh, he did. Jasmine's just said that that Mo Sporting pipped him. Oh, that's so close. No, I like this list. I really like this list. I really like the War Leader.
Yeah, War Leader is really good. Yeah, I can't think. It's that
Interesting
whole
that
thing where you've got to kill those guys in the Howder to break the army.
Yeah, and with it being a lot of objectives, that's really interesting. How I suppose you can climb over a lot of them, and just trample over them all. And you've got guys to go out and find other ones.
You got your mobile sort of thing to.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much the Warhorn made a difference for him.
Yeah, because that's a big point that you get.
Yeah.
Another couple models in there if you didn't have that.
Yeah. So Jasmine's just said that the first went six wins, 1 loss. Second went 5 wins and 2 losses. Third was 5 wins, 1 draw, and a loss. But obviously the
extra 2 points.
The extra 2 points.
So that's only 1 point, 1 tournament point difference then.
Yeah. It's close.
Yeah.
That's really close.
No, that's good to see a War Leader doing well.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. And if anyone's going to put the War Leader to maximum effect, probably going to be Mr. Mullock himself.
Yeah.
So we will move on to whoever placed first.
First place.
And it was Aaron Pullen. Oh, I've now got 2 flies in here. How annoying. I would say Goroth tactically placed at the front, roll a 1 to push an Orc away in the stop. Ooh, Dan says Warhorn is a must as it puts him at courage 7. Oh, for the War Leader, yeah, of course. So,
yeah, fair enough. First place.
Aaron Pullen, Corsairs of Umbar. Excellent. Right. So he's got Dalamir with a full warband, 6 with shield, 6 with spear, 6 arbalesters. Delgamar, 5 with shield, 5 with spear, 5 arbalesters. Bosun with 8 reavers and 3 arbalesters, and a captain by himself. So that's cool.
Yeah. And what was that then? 1935, 48?
Something like that. So 19, 16, 35, 36, 44. Yeah, 48. Nice. That's a lot of. That's a lot of. What's that? 22 throwing weapons. Captain as well.
Yeah.
So.
I've got a fly in here now as well.
Being attacked by flies tonight, people. I like that list.
Yeah, I think we talked about Corsairs a lot when we did the faction review.
Yeah.
You can go different ways with it, but this one seems to be the sort of standard.
Yeah, not generic, but it's definitely
crossbows, a few reavers. You got the main heroes that we talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the right scenarios, the right opponents. Obviously, it's going to do fairly well.
Not having shields on the spearmen is interesting.
Yeah, So,
So defense 3 rather than defense 4. But
more you can get.
he's got what's that? 9, 14 crossbow bolts plus however many throwing weapons.
So you're going to do the damage before it should really matter, really.
Yeah, in theory, at least pull some of the numbers back. Or at least some of the numbers more in his favour.
Yeah. No, it's a really
I like that list.
Solid list, really solid.
It'll be interesting to know who he lost against.
Jasmine, do you
know? And to what scenario? Because it seems like they'd favour a lot of them.
It might have been
possibly a dodgy heirlooms.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. A dodgy heirlooms where they get nowhere near the guy holding it, and they just send everyone else to die, sort of thing.
Yeah. He lost to Jasmine.
Okay. That I can see that. Yeah.
Defense 6, similar number of models. Okay, obviously, I'm right. Okay, that makes more sense.
Just didn't.
She's got the drum. She's got the drum. She's got Wild Riders. Just 2 prizes and run away. Yeah, that makes sense. To be honest, that's probably well played.
So it wasn't the heirlooms, but it was the multiple objectives.
Yeah, it's more Jasmine's speed, I think, in her list, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's the one thing it does worry the Corsairs, but normal situation, most of the time you can rely on those crossbows and then throwing daggers, throwing weapons to do what it needs to do.
Yeah. So Jasmine's just said that she killed like 5 of his and was nearly broken, but with the drum, with drum and march and the Wild Riders, I presume it's just go for it. Yeah, you just bomb burst.
It's a good list though.
List. Like we said before we found out, I think it's a lot. It would struggle if one of those scenarios didn't go their way. But
if that was a normal seize the price scenario, might have been different.
Quite possibly. Possibly
be different.
But having multiple objectives and not having like a single target for crossbow fire, etc., probably proved quite annoying and difficult.
No, yeah, all good.
All good.
So top 5 list, very varied.
Yeah, massively. A lot of numbers in most of
them. So 4 of the 5 had decent numbers for their army.
Yeah.
Obviously, Corsairs, you're always going to have loads, but when you think of Mordor, you want the high numbers, especially one of the Phaedron's Guard as well, decent numbers. So anything on hobbits as well. But,
anything. Hobbits are the anomaly, and I think so is the Grand Army of the South. So most armies are looking around that 40 model, 45 model mark, which I think is normally pretty fair.
Depending on what I'm taking, it'll either be, if it's good, around 30, if not a little bit more.
What, for 650?
Yeah, but I take like elites.
Yeah,
I've got
I suppose.
Now, so.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
And then evil, anything sort of around that 40 mark.
Yeah,
is what you're gonna
try and push them up as well.
Yeah, it's good to see nice variety, some new stuff as well, doing well.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see Phaedra's Guard. I think that's really cool. Really, really cool. So I think this has gone well. We've had a nice lot of interaction from people who were there, which is always handy.
That definitely helps.
And we're definitely going to try and do this more often. We can do a tournament review in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we are going to the Lair of the Dragon.
The Lair of the Dragon.
We are going back to our old stomping ground, Firestorm in Cardiff, to play in Matt King's 80-point G-Bit Element at the Lair of the Dragon, which is 450 points.
450, yeah.
Which would be cool. Any idea what you're going to take? Putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not going to tell me. Or is
I still don't know.
Okay.
I want to take something new, though. Put it that way.
What have you been painting?
Not a lot.
What have you been painting?
Not necessarily what I've been painting, just something new.
You can't.
I could have stuff.
You can't take Harry Potter models. That's not allowed.
No. Yeah. But yeah, something new I want to take.
Oh, good. Yeah, so
it's obviously not a new league or a new season, whatever. But try to stay away from the elves and the goblins. But
yeah, no, I'm taking something that I've used twice, and that twice was last night. So that's the plan. Yeah, so we can definitely do a review of the army list there, and we'll also do we'll keep it relatively short and do our own in-game reviews.
yeah,
we can remember.
And then a couple of weeks after we can
do our own. Yeah, which would be really cool. And then we'll try and do these relatively often, with obviously tournaments getting back to more regularity.
Yeah, so hopefully there'll be something, an event that's not necessarily the one we've gone to, but an event that we can talk about, that we can get the information for.
Yeah. So like this one, I'll aim to get the top 5 armies as soon as possible. And maybe the final standings was probably be a good help to see if people won and lost all the other things. I know Ali has been putting together a spreadsheet to try and eventually find out army win percentages.
Okay, so what armies
are seen to do better?
Okay.
But obviously it won't have players next to them. So you could have someone very, very experienced in one army take a completely different army and be very inexperienced with them, and not do so well with them. But it would just show that army didn't do as well.
That could then change the whole meta of the game.
Yeah, people think things are broken.
Yeah. Especially if it's like 75% win percentage or something.
It'll be interesting to see which armies and legions have been. We just got a new subscriber. Excellent. Which army or legion have been taken the most?
Taken would be interesting to see as well. Yeah.
So I would expect to see Rohan up there, but now they're in so many.
Multiple times.
Yeah. So now there's multiple legions. It would be a little bit more interesting to see. But yeah, no, we can do a whole rundown of loads of lists for our event. We can give you loads of stats. Make it real nerd fest on the stats.
We all love that.
We all love the stats. So I think that's it for this evening, unless you've got any more.
No, I've got nothing to say really. An hour 20 for an event review.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I was thinking about an hour and a half.
Especially when we went at, yeah.
Yeah, especially when we went at. I expect ones will be at to be like 2.5 hours probably.
Yeah, we'll set aside more time.
Yeah.
Might start earlier if we can.
Quite possibly. Yeah. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this live stream, please feel free to comment along and remind me. And you can probably get event guys lists from his event. This is Matt. I might just try and take them the day we're there. At the end of the day. Yeah, if you've liked this, please comment, share, and subscribe. We've got loads of other content on our channel, like Legion reviews and all that kind of jazz. So yeah, if you've been, we will see you all in the next. Oh, that's my phone going funny. Why has that suddenly happened? That's a good place to end. So
Those who
yeah,
stuck around,
yeah.
there you go.
Cheers for watching all, and we'll see you in the next live stream.
See you later, guys.